Well, now we are on our way home. If any of you are on social media, you saw the speech and the photos posted from last night. It was pretty cool. Here he is. This is Cam Fella. For those of you who are not aware, this is not actually Cam Fella. This is a statue replica of Cam Fella. Cam Fella was a horse. This is a statue. Although I am flying high after last night's awards, obviously.
Not literally.
What's that?
Not literally.
Not literally, why? No, not literally. I am still excited after yesterday's training, and I know these awards are cool and they mean a lot, and it always will. It's something that will never leave unless I have to sell it or somebody steals it. But the day-to-day operations at the stable.ca are still very important to me, and the training day we had yesterday was really good. I gave you guys an opening, a top 15 list. I tried to make it a top 10, but it wasn't. I couldn't do it yesterday. I couldn't do it. So I made you a top 15 list. We're going to go over the babies. Now I'm going to tell you, this time of year I like to give a little more in-depth. Probably the biggest portion of the videos every week from here till probably June will be the talk of the 2-year-olds. It's important. I mean, if horses are not doing their work, it's every bit as important to touch on that as the ones that are excelling. And we had some horses, I want to say, really jumped forward yesterday, but truthfully speaking, we had pretty high hopes for them to begin with. It just now we finally got to see them shine. Oh, I'm worried this is going to fall. This thing annoys me. So we'll get right to it. Adrenaline Rush was good yesterday. Now, I had mentioned, touched on in passing about how Mario and I and James were going with the 3-year-olds yesterday. So the 2-year-olds, the first 3 sets, we weren't in them. I got to watch them, which was really cool, but we weren't in them. I got to watch Adrenaline Rush. Jacques really likes this horse. He's becoming likable, this horse, because he is still lazy in the 3rd quarter, but he can really get at it finishing. And Adrenaline Rush was good again yesterday. Argento was decent. I only saw him finishing up. He was near the back, but Mark Isabel had gone with him, and he'd asked him for a lot in the mile, and the track was deep. He does have flip-flops on, and clearly he got a little tired out. But Argento did his work, didn't make a break, stayed at it yesterday, and was fine. Barbie's Crown has turned out. Steve and I just had breakfast at the hotel before I left. I might just keep this trophy right in the car. Right here, just as an armrest. My Cam Fella armrest. Nah, I can't do that. So Barbie's Crown, she's out in the field for 3 weeks. We had, I'll tell you, her leg blew up the day before I got back from our vacation in the Dominican. And when I got back, it was clear that she had a little bit of infection in her leg. It's pretty easily treatable, but her curb area still carried a lot of heat. And what we did was we put her on penicillin, and then we just gave her a few days, and it came right down. It was good. But as I said, that curb area still had a little heat. Took her up to the vet to make sure everything was intact. I assumed it was some sort of swelling related to the infection, which it was. So the vet had drained it out, put a little antibiotics right in that area, and then said just turn her out for the next couple of weeks, which I'm happy to do. The biggest reason I wanted to turn her out was simply because she's a little bit light, her belly, and she's trying to grow, and you got to be careful. And we talk about all sorts of injuries with these horses. What the hell is this thing doing? We talk about all sorts of injuries with these horses, and you have to treat them on a case-by-case basis. One horse might have sore feet, needs a shoeing change. Another horse might be sick. You have to back off for a week. Another horse might be a little bit underweight, and you have to take the time to put that weight back on and then address that as a problem when the horse comes back in. So Barbie's Crown, a couple of weeks, another week and a half now of rest and relaxation. Well deserved. I'm very happy with the fillies done, and I suspect she's going to come back very good. What's up? Jeepers. Oh my, bless me. Beef and cheddar was good again yesterday. I had told everybody in the sets at a mile and a half, the last half of that mile and a half was a little bit quicker than it should have been, and Beef and Cheddar struggled to make up ground, but was still closing on the end of the mile. Looked very, very good. Again, although he wasn't on the top list this week, simply because he finished 3rd or 4th in the set, still one of, I believe, on his way to being one of our better horses so far this year. Better's Hope was good again. He continues to be good. I think he's better when you put him in gear and make him do his work. And I know when some people, when they jump up on him, they're like, we'll just go around and train him and he'll be all right. And which is fine. I know I went with him one time 2 weeks ago, and I thought he was absolutely fantastic, even better than I expected him to be this time of year. So no concerns with Better's Hope. Blue Monk was good again, continues to improve that horse. Brilliant Corners will probably start back training this week. If the weather permitting, we would like to have a drone session next week, and I suspect Brilliant Corners would find his way into that drone set. Broadway Roll was good again. Got a little rolly on the end of the mile, but the track was a little deep. Overall, though, she was pacing very, very good. Cambridge Star won his set yesterday. There's a horse that's sneaking up on everybody, right? I can't imagine he's going to be a sire stake material colt in Pennsylvania, but who knows? He's going to be a fun horse to race. I know that. I hope he ends up with enough talent to get to the races, because he's going to be a fun horse at the races when he gets there, hopefully. Can't Deny My Spirit was fantastic yesterday. Just kind of the only, if I was going to make a little critique about him, still a little green. I went to move him off cover and he bolted sideways, and when he did, James got through with Eternity Road and won the set, which is fine, not a big deal, but that bolting to the right has got to stop, and he can't do that. So Can't Deny My Spirit, just green, but lots of trot on the end of the mile. Can't Muscle Me continues to impress me. She looked good again yesterday. Captain's Maid is going to start back again this week with Brilliant Corners. She'll probably find her way into a drone set next week. Carry a Big Stick, I'd say another week of jogging. Yesterday he was leaping on the track and carrying on. He's starting to feel good again. You can see it when we had to stop with this horse. He was a little tired. You could tell he was hurting a little bit. Now he's starting to come around. He's jumping and playing on the track again. Just looks like $1 million. So Carry a Big Stick, probably won't see him in the drones this week. I want to give him another week, but very happy with what I've seen from him on the track. Cut the Line, again, she's probably on the same trajectory as Carry a Big Stick. Another week for her. She's going to pick up where she left off. I'm certain of that. She looked like $1 million on the track this week. Again, we had changed to put a set of flip-flops on her. She immediately took to them well and has been jogging great since we did. Darling Please, she'll likely be in the drone set this week. I didn't train her this week. I don't like training them back when they're as sick as she appeared to be. When they need a couple of days to recover, take your time. And Darling Please she might be in the drone set next week. I'll probably go a very slow mile with her on Wednesday to get a feel, if I can, to get a feel of how she seems. The reason I keep saying maybe, possibly, and if I can, is because I know there's some, for February, inclement weather, I guess would be for us, +3, +4, +5. For you people in Fahrenheit, learn an actual, what's it called? Yes, an actual temperature. Learned in Fahrenheit, really? Was it like 1864? So it would be 38 degrees all week here in Canada, and it's not good for the track. It's great for the horses. It's not cold, but at the same time, it's hard to get work done when the track's muddy. So we'll see how the week plays out. In a perfect world, I would train Darling Please Wednesday at 2:45. She would come out of the training set very good, and then we will put her in the drone on Saturday. We'll see how that plays out. Desperado was good again. Just kind of middle of the road type horse right now. Not in a rush with him. I'm not asking him to step up and do more than he's doing. I've been happy with what he's done so far. So very happy with Desperado. Eternity Road again continues to be the king of the hill at the stable.ca in 2019, now 2020. And he's been good for quite a while. As I had said to somebody the other day, I said, this horse looked better in the drone or that horse. Week in and week out, Eternity Road has been a constant and just a good horse. So for the foreseeable future, I would suspect he'll be on the top of the list or near the top of the list. First Glance was great yesterday, first over in his training trip, and was a winner, looked very good doing it. Fox Valley Britska, although his attitude is in question, what I mean by that is, there's different levels or different types of a sour horse, right? The horses that don't want to do their work, they're on their way to Ohio next week. The horses that are a little crabby and you got to make them do it, it's funny to watch those horses evolve into hopefully a better horse. Fox Valley Britska has a lot to offer on the racetrack, but he can be a little cranky too. So we're going to work with him over the next month, I suspect. Good news is he's sound the time we gave him up. This is a great look at how Carry a Big Stick, GW Chrome, Cut the Line will probably come back after their short hiatus from training. When you look at a horse like Fox Valley Britska, he's sound now, looks good on the track. He's got a lot to offer, but still a little cranky, a little rigid. We just got to work on that. Frilly Fringes was good yesterday. She's another filly. She doesn't like when horses pass her quickly. She gets spooked. So I said to Amy, you know what, we're going to jog her with an open bridle all next week. She needs to stop being so concerned about horses passing her. Either that or become the fastest horse on the planet. She only has two options. I think we'll attack the first one rather than the latter. Girls with Swirls was good again. Jacques Suave went with her. Jacques had a big day on Saturday. He went with her too, said she was really, really good. Gray as a New Red looked good, always looks good. GW Chrome is in the same grouping as Cut the Line and Carry a Big Stick. He likely won't be in the drone sets next week, but soon enough. Holy Chick was very good every week. She's very good. Italian Grit is going to start back this Saturday, I think, in the drone sets at Glare AM. When James went with her, said she made a little break at the wire, but we changed her gear all around, and she literally has to change the way she's trotting. It's not a bad thing, just minor adjustments, and I think those minor adjustments she just has to get used to. I think James was really asking her for a lot more than she was willing to offer on Saturday, and or comfortable offering, and that discomfort led to a break late in the mile, but I'm not concerned with that at all. I'm a Lovely Lady was very good. I'm All Hill on Wheels was much, much better. We're changing his gear around over the last 10 days. We made some significant changes with him. I think we're right on the cusp of having him right where we need him to be. He was pretty good on Saturday. Jazzy Judy was good on Saturday. Disco was driving her. He wasn't that good on Saturday, but Jazzy Judy was pretty good. Jesse Balboa, we had talked about getting that operation done. The vet dropped by and did the operation on Jesse Balboa, which was good. I don't know how I'm going to build that out because they took cash, right? It was a bit of a learning experience, I believe. One of the surgeons from the university came down and was teaching our vet how to do the procedure. So what it is the epiglottis, I think, don't quote me on this, I'm not a vet, the epiglottis on the horse, the palate flip, it can flip, and if it's not like a V shape, it can catch and cause ulcers on the side. Now, I was concerned when I heard this sentence from the vet, because it gave me a little shiver dating back to Forged and Fired. He said, totally different situation, not the same at all. What you need to do is trim those sides so it fits properly. And the vet came down and showed him how to do it. They did it, and it ended up being a fraction of what it would have cost me to get it done at another establishment. So it worked out good. We got Jesse Balboa done. Everything's good. Everyone's happy, except for me, because now I got to figure out how to build it. Keystone Raven was good yesterday. James went with her. I went with her on Tuesday or Wednesday. I thought she was really good. A good friend of ours, I don't get to talk to him enough because he's in Florida right now, owns a big chunk of Keystone Raven. And to be honest, I have been, I was really high on her when she started. Then this attitude started to come around, and I think partially, she's a filly. She was learning how to do her work, and I don't know if she was super interested in it throughout the latter parts of December and into the first part of January. But the last couple of weeks, she's really come on. And when I continue to look at her breeding, her gait, and now her attitude is evolving and changing for the good, I really think Keystone Raven is going to be a factor later on in the spring into the summer. And we all know, if you've had them as trainers out there, the Better Delights kind of evolve closer to qualifying days and later on in the summer than they do at the start. We had a couple that were the same way, and it just seems like they'll have their frustrating days, but overall they make good horses. So Keystone Raven, I was happy with her. Let's Roll On finally made a list, stayed flat, and impressed the hell out of me yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I had a chance to go with him for a while. I'll be going with him next Saturday at the drone also, but I was very, very impressed with how Let's Roll On looked. His composure, his gait, his strength. He's putting it all together now. People have to understand, I kept asking you to cut him some slack and be a little patient, because he's a giant of an animal, and he's now put it all together and is starting to come forward. Really impressed with what I saw from Let's Roll On yesterday. Lincoln Hanover, he's kind of in this set now. I didn't think of it, but he's kind of in this group with cut the line and carry a big stick. We had chopped all the toes off him, blistered his knees, wanted to give him a couple of weeks of easy work. If he doesn't look super comfortable on Wednesday, I believe Lincoln may skip next Saturday also. Not a big deal. We just have to, as I say all the time, listen to the horse when they're talking. And Lincoln Hanover is probably going to have a couple of times throughout the spring when his knees get a little pinchy and we just got to back off of them. And this might be one of those times. Mama Knows Best was fantastic yesterday. I just got up and beat her with One My Heart Hanover. Chris came from 6th in behind me at the 3/8 pole of the training session. So we went a half and then our mile. At the 3/8 of that mile, he came first over with Mama Knows Best. I followed out behind him and followed with One My Heart Hanover. She drug me right up into it, and then I just pounced on her late and got up to beat her. But Mama Knows Best did all the work and looked tremendous yesterday. Momo looked good again. Chris Rogers went with her also. She picked up a second and looked good doing it. I know he had lots of praise for her after the mile. My Jazz, I went with My Jazz yesterday, and the only thing I said was, how in the hell has this filly gone this long without hobbles on? She's got lots to offer. I'm just not spending a good portion of every training mile trying to steady her. She's going to have the hobbles on come Tuesday morning. Why not Monday? Because Monday we kind of go easy with the horses. Tuesday morning you can be sure that My Jazz will have the hobbles put on her. Damn, I want to drop those hobbles off at Bar's Saddlery. I forgot. I'll do it tomorrow. Where else are we? Where are we at now? I jumped over Miss Meringue. I apologize. Back it up 3 horses. Miss Meringue was good yesterday. Mark Isabel went with her. She's getting better and better and better every week. I'd like to go with her one of these days just to see if she looks as good as I believe she is. But we'll see if I can get that done next week. James or I hopefully will go with Miss Meringue next week. My goodness, it's snowing a lot, eh? No Free Lunch is going to start back training this week. Probably next Saturday he'll be in the drone sets. We had him castrated last week. Northern Blizzard looked really, really good yesterday. Off-Road Hanover looked fantastic. Off-Road Hanover was in the top bunch for the longest time, and then we dropped him down a little bit to the horses that were just learning, and he looked like a man among boys yesterday. He looked very, very good. Very happy with Off-Road Hanover's training yesterday. Perfect Record looked good. We moved him up into the top bunch now. He's got to learn. He's got a little bit to learn this week. I know Danny moved him and then sat with him, and I can hear him get aggressive in behind me. Just going to have to put a little hood and a little snake cord on Perfect Record this week and get him under control, but he looked really good. That guy in the woods, yeah,
wow.
You're not supposed to be down there.
Oh dear.
Got to watch how you're driving in the snow. Ask that guy. Rito Sunshine, well, they probably call it CA. It's 300 people on the 401. Rito Sunshine looked good yesterday. It was funny because we had a contingent from PEI, a number of politicians, and PEI is a little smaller community, obviously, so the politicians in PEI are very familiar with horse racing, and some of them are very familiar with horse racing. And the one gentleman we were watching the horses train, he said, who's that one over there? And it was Rito Sunshine, and he'd asked me again last night at the O'Brien's what the name of that colt was that he saw, and I happily told him it was Rito Sunshine. He looked really good training yesterday. Rose Run Wanda, she's just going through the motions until we take her to Ohio on the 11th. Rose Run Why Not, I told you how good she looked on Wednesday. She looked good again yesterday, winning her training set. She beat me at the wire with someone. Let's Roll On. Round Midnight's got a long way to go, but he's pacing good now. Davey was pretty happy with him yesterday, so we'll see how he continues, whether that's progression or regression. We'll see over the next coming month. Royal Tyrone was very good again yesterday. Roy Hill was good. Set the Mood won his set, didn't make the top 15 list. Now that's not very fair, because there's horses that were second that made the list. Just at Set the Mood, there was a bunch of horses that we were trying to get motivated, moving forward. Set the Mood beat them fair and square. I'm very happy with this horse's attitude and how he's doing his work. So he was good. So Admirable, Mario went with for the first time yesterday. He really liked her. Saurus Blue Chip, I got to go with this horse. We had him castrated, and there was a few little complications. Not a big deal, but we're going to have to go and get him sorted this week. He didn't look as good yesterday. Just made a couple of breaks and acted up. I'm not really concerned, but I think I probably should go with him. So starting Monday even, I'm going to be going with Saurus Blue Chip. Stacy Hanover drove right into number 2 yesterday. It was great of Steve to come all the way from Missouri to watch her train. He thought she trained great. I thought she trained great. And and that's because she trained great. Sunshine in May was good yesterday also. She's good every week. She's just one of those, people see her and they go, she's small. But they don't realize she's very, very nice filly, and she's got lots to offer. And I can't wait to see where she peaks this summer. Surreal Love, I had said to Mario before he went with him for the first time ever, I said, nice colt, just don't put him in a bad spot. He really likes his work. Mario moved him once or twice, and he said, geez, he really is a nice...
Set the mood.
I said set the mood. I talked about set the mood. You want to set? My wife never listens to me. Do you guys ever have that problem at home where your wife just never listens?
I think I tuned you out.
Oh, you tuned me out. That was so nice. I'll just talk to Cam. Cam and I'll talk. So Surreal Love was very, very good yesterday. Just a nice horse. Again, on the right track, doing everything right. Really excited to see what's going to take place with Surreal Love. Sweet Ambitions trained good yesterday. Tanzanite Tricks was pretty good yesterday. That's my girl. These horses were all doing their work well. These were in the first 3 sets, so I got to watch them. I wasn't in with them. I thought all 3 of them looked rather well. The Fat Cobra did his work well. Danny said he was much better this week than last week, and last week he was pretty decent. So the Fat Cobra is coming forward also. Tipsy and Dixie won her set very easily. This affiliate's getting better and better by the week. You can feel her and Can't Muscle Me. Their confidence just exuding when they go on the track. They're starting to get comfortable on the track, and which is why they're trotting so well. Try to Tease Me, as I said, her and Rose Run Wanda will change their postal codes in for zip codes on the 11th as they're going to the Ohio sale. Walk on the Moon was fantastic in the open trot yesterday. He did well again. Poor Moon found himself first over, grinding away, and did very, very good in that set. Warwi Was Up. There's a horse that's on the move. This is a horse that I thought was okay. Thought he was, who knows, might be okay. He went from that to, geez, this is a big, powerful colt, and his attitude has completely changed. You see that a lot. After you castrate them this time of year, you see these attitude changes, right? And Warwi Was Up is a big, strong colt that really looks good now. And even Danny commented, he goes, I wouldn't go and put him in with the best horses you have right now, but he's coming. And I agree 100%. Warwi Welcome was in with the best bunch because she is one of the best, and she's done very good so far. I like the way that Mario's put her in a number of different positions. He's put her on the front, he's been first over, he's trained her out of a hole, and that's what I want to see, and she's excelled with A-pluses all along the way. So Warwi Welcome was great again yesterday. Well and Down, probably the fastest horse of yesterday, and looked very, very good doing it. It's just the way it ended up. He ended up, Marquez Bull ended up on the front. He let her pace away the last half. Probably shouldn't have done that, but she was fine afterwards. Ate her lunch, and those are the 2 most important things. But she looked very good on the track, so very impressed with Well and Down, and a horse that I really have just been waiting with bated breath for her to come around, because you guys know how highly I think of her. Won My Heart, Hanover. Amy and I had been working with her all week. Amy had been blistering her and packing her feet and sweating her feet and working on her, and I think we really got her on the right track now. Made a few little of equipment adjustments on her, but Won My Heart, Hanover was all business yesterday. Exactly what I want to see. Couldn't be happier with her. So that's all the 2-year-olds. We're going to talk about the 3-year-olds in a minute. A lot of them getting really, really close, and then we did have the drone sets from yesterday we talked about. Overall, just as I said, a fantastic day, both of the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. We'll get to the 3-year-olds in just a second.